Përshëndetje dhe mirë se vini në një episod të ri të podcastit Shnet-me Eridën. Unë jam Erida Çepele, farmaciste. Siç e dini, podcasti jon ka marrë një mision gjithë këtë muaj për të diskutuar dhe për të ndihmuar lidhur me edukimin shëndetësor në të gjitha dimensionet e tij. Jo vetëm në edukimin fizik për sa i përket shëndetit, por edhe në atë social dhe mendor. Shpeshherë shëndeti i grave lihet pas, por pjesa ekonomike dhe ndihma që mund t'u japim neve grave në këtë kontekst, shpeshherë është një burim i rëndësishëm që largon shumë strese dhe përmirëson shëndetin mendor të tyre. Sot kam kënaqësinë që në këtë episod të kem një mysafir të veçantë, jo vetëm për mua, por edhe për stafin e këtij podcasti dhe sigurisht për audiencën në Kosovë, edhe më gjerë edhe në gjitha vendet shqipfolse. Kam të ftuar një personazh i cili në jetën publike në Kosovë ka qenë aktiv përmes të gjitha aktiviteteve dhe shpeshherë përmes iniciativave që kanë ndërmarrë në mirëqenien e gjithë popullsisë në përgjithësi në Kosovë. Kam të ftuar ambasadorin e Kosovës, ambasadorin e Francës në Kosovë, zotin Olivier Guerot. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for coming here today. It's a great honor for me and also for the staff of this podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Now you are in the third year of living in Kosovo and working in Kosovo in general in different events and mostly of the time you have initiated lots of events and regarding women and everything that support the well-being of women in Kosovo and general the population. How was your staying here in Kosovo in general? How did you feel in these last 3 years here?
Well, it's been a fantastic experience. I was this really striking thing from day one almost was the hospitality of the people, friendliness, and very soon I realized I'm going to really enjoy it here in this country. Now, part of my job is also a big part of my job is on the diplomatic issues, the international issues. And as my Dutch colleague told me when I arrived, you see, Olivier, you're never going to have one boring day. And she was she was very right. So we had those very tense years of 2022, 23, yes. Even 24, with tensions, violence at some point, and then a lot of interaction with the government on the international issues, the dialogue facilitated by the EU and so on. Not always successful, unfortunately, but in parallel to that, and that's really something extremely satisfactory, I was also able to develop our bilateral relation, our relation with between France and Kosovo, between the French society and the society of Kosovo, and also between the governments. So, yes, you mentioned the work we've done on women's rights, human rights in general, but there are many other things that we've done. We're working hard to support Kosovo towards the organization of the Mediterranean Games in 2030. We are working on energy transition with the government. So a lot of activities. We've created a cultural institute here in Kosovo, that was inaugurated last year.
Yes, so it was a big event. And the big, I think it's a big opportunity for the culture to be developed in Kosovo, and also we have a lot to learn by French culture in general.
Oh, I think it's about exchanging. Don't think that there is any one sort of learning. It's about exchanging, taking what can be replicable, learning about things that are completely new. I believe in exchange and not in a top-down position.
You come from you're a Frenchman and come from France, and we both know that the iconic cuisine and the place of baguette is what we know about France when it comes to the culinary and gastronomy in general. Do you think is there any similar dish in Kosovo, and how you felt these years regarding the food? It was difficult to adapt, or it was quite easy to adapt with our food?
It was very easy because it's simple, authentic food, and I think that authentic food in every country is always very good. It's done with the heart, not just with the hands. I sort of fell in love with the flea, which I find
Yes,
is fantastic.
we all love it, but we should take care about our health.
Yes, exactly. But it reminds me of what we call in France crêpe.
Yes.
Just it's a pile of crêpe, and I myself love that. Not only I love that, but I love to cook them for my kids as well. Now they're all grown-ups, but that was the tradition on Sunday morning that I would do crêpe and sort of flee as
Yes.
the same, just a pile of it.
I'm glad that you enjoyed here all the nature and then the gastronomy, and you felt like home about this. Now I want to discuss something that is not so technical, but it's something that the audience maybe should ask: what does a diplomat do in a health education podcast? Let me explain that above. It's very important that supporting the mental health of women and in general of the population is one of the most important things, because nowadays we have seen that facing lots of problems can lead us in different and also in situations that we have to afford it. Culture and films and music and different events that you really organize during the year with the French Embassy and the Institute. In your opinion, according to you, it is important to move forward this kind of events to support the mental health, the emotional one. What is the role, according to you, that they play in our life?
I think culture has a tremendous role to play. Trauma hurts in silence, and culture gives to the issues that people have been faced with. It gives a form, and therefore, when there is a form, it's less difficult to deal with the issues that you've been facing. So, unspoken traumas, terrible events that someone has faced, if they remain unspoken, they will hurt forever. If one can speak about them, then that's the beginning of a healing path. And I think culture is a way, artistic expression is a way to express, to give a form to this trauma and be better able to deal with that. And unfortunately, Kosovo and the people in Kosovo have had a lot of trauma to face 25 years ago. And as a foreigner, I can see that not all of it has been completely swallowed. So I think culture can be a way to deal with the past, can be a way also to turn the page without forgetting, but to turn the page and look forward for the future. So I'm really happy that we, the French Embassy, the Institut Francez, the French Institute, could be contributing to that, bringing our own limited, I would wish we could do more, our own contribution to this cultural approach of dealing with the past and also looking for a brighter future. And I think that in what we've done, we've also paved the way, or we're contributing to paving the way for Kosovo for its full integration in Europe, in the EU, and in also the professional networks of creators. Yesterday I was in Peja, and we were opening what they call Pro Anibar. Anibar is this well-known animated film festival, and we have a €500,000 project with them where we train creators from Kosovo, and not only we train them, but also we give them the opportunity to meet French producers. So they go to France, they do a pitch. There were 20 French producers coming to Peja this week. They are still here meeting young creators. So that's the way to the future. I think also we have another program that is going to start after the summer break with Serb and Albanian journalists. And part of that program is to help the Kosovo Serb journalists learn Albanian, and the younger Albanian journalists who did not learn Serbian at school to learn the language also, because you cannot as I said, trauma hurts in silence. If the communities don't speak with each other, and especially the journalists, then it's going to take a much longer time or forever to just turn gently this difficult page of the past. So that's what we're contributing. Modestly, I would wish we would have even more possibilities, but giving opportunities for creators, for people from the culture to meet each other. We're also supporting, I think we might talk of that later, but we're also supporting this Femme Art Festival, which is one of the few, maybe certainly not the only, but one of the few festivals that has a relationship to artists from Serbia in Belgrade. Not always easy, but I think Sana Hoxha is doing a fantastic work, so we're supporting her as well.
According to me, and I think according to all my colleagues and the audience, it's very important to have a good communication in general with every neighbor, not only in this case. And bad communication sometimes in media can lead to lots of misunderstandings. So this initiative, I think it's important and it's good and should be done. I hope the project would be good. Last year, it was a very important year, not only for us, but also for France, for the Olympic Games and everything that was the events that were done all the year. What was very impressive to me was a public letter that you have written for the 8th March, the Women's Day. It is a public letter, so everyone can read it in the website of the embassy. If you allow me, I would like just to read 2 phrases there in Albanian, just for the audience to understand, and then I will ask your opinion regarding that. Parlamentarët francez kanë bërë shumë më tepër se sa dhurimi I luleve, ka shkruar ambasadori vitin e kaluar në një letër publike. Disa ditë para 8 marsit 2024, ata vendosën të përfshin të drejtën e abortit në kushtetut me një shumicë dërmuese të dyja dhomave së bashku, 780 pro dhe 72 kundër. Nuk ishte një dhuratë, por një njohje e një aspirate legjitime të grave për të vendosur mbi trupin e tyre. Për mua si grua kjo është e rëndësishme për t'u theksuar. Franca është vendi I parë në botë që I jep mbrojtje kushtetuese ndërprerjes vullnetare të shtatzanisë. Regarding this issue, you have talked about the abortion and also for the right of the women to decide about their body. And this is an important topic also that can affect not only Kosovo, also Albania and every country. So for us, it's very important to take this example, a good example, to support women to decide for themselves. So I want to know your opinion a bit more. What did you mean with not celebrating only the 8th March for women, but what should we do generally each day?
Absolutely. 8th March is not a finish line. It's a reminder of something that we have to also keep doing during the other 364 days. Thank you for mentioning that France has enshrined abortion rights in the Constitution. I think sometimes some countries are spearheading, sometimes they're a bit behind. This has happened to my country, France. At one point we were very much ahead in terms of human rights. We were having a republican regime. On women's rights, I must confess, some countries were faster than us, but we learned from them. And then we also had our own initiative, and I think we're the first country that has enshrined abortion right in the Constitution. And I really hope this is an example that is going to be followed by others. A feminist diplomacy, because we have a feminist diplomacy. Our Minister for Foreign Affairs reminded the French Parliament of this again very recently. So it is extremely conscious. Feminist diplomacy, it's about concrete rights as well. It's about concrete initiatives. Here in Kosovo, we've supported the campaign of a Kosovo NGO to reduce the VAT on menstrual hygiene products because they are taxed at 18%, just like luxury goods. which makes no sense. So we also have to, it's about economic justice, and we also have to look into very concrete actions. Together with this Kosovo NGO, EcoCos Women, we also had, or we supported them in having sensitizing actions in schools about menstruation, which should not be a taboo, which has been a taboo in many countries,
Yes.
including mine. But we have to talk about that. It's the body of more than half of the population, and why should this be a taboo?
It's very important. I want to state that it is very important for the audience that this thing it has been initiated by a man. So a very important thing about women, and it's initiated by men. I want just to come back to the feminist diplomacy. You have stated that French diplomacy is a feminist diplomacy. What does it mean for the audience to know, and how we can take the example of the French diplomacy both here in Kosovo?
There are two sides of it. There is an internal side, how we are organized. There is a target that has been met to have at least 40% of newly appointed ambassadors being women. There are positive, affirmative actions for female colleagues, younger female colleagues, so that they don't hurt the so-called glass ceiling during their career. Every embassy, including mine, you have to have what we call un référent, someone that can be addressed, talked to by colleagues if they face any difficulties. And actually, I have appointed two, a man and a woman, in the embassy. So it's the feminist diplomacy. It's first to start doing your own homework and be sure that you're not preaching something that you're not doing yourself. We have a policy of zero tolerance when it comes to sexism at work, at a workplace. And also in Paris, on that, we have a permanent telephone contact where colleagues can call directly without going through the hierarchy if they feel they are confronted with some harassment, including gender-based harassment. So that's on our internal side. And then in our policy, in all embassies, in all international organizations, we are promoting an approach of equality between men and women, which is, by the way, a part of our global policy for human rights. So it can be either at the United Nations on a conceptual basis, defending the conceptual rights, or it can be very concrete in each and every embassy, and then it's up to each embassy to decide together with the local actors. I mentioned this NGO from Kosovo. It's not something we're doing artificially without talking with the people.
Project.
Yes, exactly.
Indeed, it's a concrete project that you have supported, and
yes,
also the education on the menstrual issues. It's not a female issue; it's also a man issue. If we do not educate men or young boys in schools, it's half of the work that we have to do on that. And also, you have mentioned before the VAT reduced in the menstrual products. What does it mean for the women or for the economy in the general? It was useful. It was helpful. How was the project, in your opinion? It was successful, or
no, unfortunately not. So I take this occasion to appeal to the next assembly, or the assembly that has been voted but not yet constituted, and the next government to look at this issue again. A product that half of the population is using every month during a long period in their life is not a luxury product. And sensitizing all the population, including men, about that is just, if life is a journey, then our body is our car. You should not be ashamed of your car. You should take care of your car. You should know your car, how it works. And so that's that basic.
You also are mentioning all these projects and all these active initiatives regarding women. In your perspective as a man, how important is to support a female and to understand them in all these days? As far as I've read recently in the media, some countries are taking initiatives to support women during the menstrual period, to give them some days off, to understand, or just to consider it as a period of taking a break from the work, and just to consider it as maybe not as a health issue, but as a woman, in my perspective, I can say that during those days, the hormonal state can change everything, even the business issue, even the work, even your social life, it can affect everything. In your perspective, how important is to support these initiatives?
I think it is crucial to de-tabooize, or I don't know whether this is an English word, to make menstruation no longer a taboo. It's something that is, yes, I mean, people are affected by a lot of things, including men, by all kinds of hormones, all kinds of environment. Why should this physical event, condition that is recurring, be so taboo that one does not speak about it? Then after that, what kind of measures should be put in place? Again, my motto is there is a variety of examples in different countries. We have reduced the VAT, which is in France on menstrual hygiene products, in order to lower the economic burden on women, in order to make sure that when young girls have their first period, this is not seen as an additional financial burden. There are all other ways. You mentioned days off, or I think here I'm not an expert. One should look into that.
Yes, as a pharmacist and also as a woman, I can bear on that.
Yes.
That it's very important to have at least 2 days off, because it's a physical condition that some women can have lots of pain and they are not able to do anything else.
Absolutely, exactly. And also making the GP, the general practitioners, aware about these pains, and there might be some treatments, and make sure that women go to the GPs when they month after month have a pain that is excessive. So fighting, we call it in French endometriosis, I suppose in English.
Yes.
This is something that has also to be talked about, so that women who are suffering from that realize that it's not necessarily normal to have that pain, and that there might be something to do against that, just to have a better life. You asked me as a man. Most men live with women, so their own life.
Yes, mostly.
So their own life is also impacted if their partner is not feeling well.
Yes.
Their own life will be better if they fully understand what's going on in the brain, in the body of their partner. And more generally, I think women's rights is when people want to reduce freedom in a country, where autocratic leaders want to reduce freedom, they often target women's rights first. But it's just the first step, because once you've limited the rights of women, then you will limit the rights of some men, and then you will limit the rights of more men, and then you'll come to a situation where no one has any rights, just a handful of people who have all the rights, all the possibilities.
That's
so for the few men, I hope the few that are not absolutely convinced about gender equality, look at your own situation. Allowing women to be oppressed is the first step towards your own oppression.
Yes, it's very important to have the support of men and the support in general, because sometimes even some women do not support women, but these are other issues to be discussed. I want to come back because your letter was very impressive. It was public one, and the perspective that you have showed there, it is very important for all the women, not only the women who work every day in institutions, but also for the women who work at home. That is something that we do not support most of the time. Feminism is an universalism you have emphasized there. Can you please explain this in more depth? What do you mean with that?
Um, as I said, we have a feminist diplomacy. It's part of a more general approach toward human rights. We are convinced that societies where people are equal, societies where people are not oppressed because of their sex, because of the color of their skin, because of their religion or belief, because of their belonging to one community, because of their sexual orientation. Those countries are countries that are not just more happy, but they are safer for their neighbors. So there is a clear link between peace, security, and human rights. As I said, very often, and you can see that in Afghanistan, you can see that with the so-called traditional values in Russia, women are the first targets of regime that cannot stand freedom. First target, and very often not the only target. So that's the meaning. We are one humanity. Women and men are equal. Women very often are more vulnerable, which does not mean that they are the only ones that are vulnerable. So there is a value in itself to work for the rights of women, but also it's to the benefit of the whole society, including men, if everybody lives in a society where women have their full potential. I think true patriots should be for gender equality, because a country where women can develop their full potential is a country that is richer, a country that is itself developing its own potential. So yes, true patriots should be feminists.
No, of course, I totally agree. I totally agree. During the conversation, you have mentioned that you have visited Peja, and just it came into my mind. Did you have the possibility to visit the judo team in Peja, and what was the impression that this experience leave on you?
It was a great moment. Yes, I had this privilege to see them in a training pass before the Olympic Games, and that's one of the things that is amazing with this lovely country of Kosovo, that such a small country has been able to win so many gold medals on judo, and every time a woman is winning a medal in a combat sport, in a judo, it's a triumph for Kosovo, but it's also a blow against gender inequality. So I was very impressed by those young women and very, very happy for Kosovo. It's a very good sign for its future. Where for our National Day celebration last year, we had a demonstration of judo. It was also nice to see them training. Kosovo is going to host the Mediterranean Games in 2030. We're going to share as much as possible our experience of our own games, which were, I think, quite a success with Kosovo in terms of environmental sustainability, making sure that all the investments that are done will be used after the games, reducing the impact on health, reducing the impact on the environment of the games, and other issues as well.
Supporting sport, women in sport, and young generations in sport is very important for the health, because in every episode that we have discussed, we have mentioned and emphasized the importance of the physical conditions, sports that can reduce stress and every other healthcare problem in everyone. So, according to me, it's very important to support this kind of initiatives. And at the end of this conversation, I think it was very inspiring, and knowing your opinion loudly that it's very important to take care about the women health in general. So I would like to have any message that you can just directly give to the young generations, to women, but especially to the men in Kosovo in general regarding the female equality and also the equality gender in general.
Well, I think I might repeat what I've said. True patriots are feminists. True patriots want half of the population, not just half of the population, but the full population to thrive. Think there is this common wisdom that successful women had a good father. I think successful men almost all the time had a supportive woman next to them. And men need strong women, and there are a lot of strong women in this country. It is part of what makes this country so lovable, if I may say so.
Thank you very much for this conversation. It was really a pleasure and an honor for me and for the staff of this podcast to have you here today. Të nderuar dëgjues, të gjithë audiencës që është duke na dëgjuar tani, unë ju falenderoj që na ndiqni në çdo episod. Është shumë e rëndësishme që nga kjo bisedë të arrim të kuptojmë që barazia gjinore nuk është një nder apo një favor që i bëhet grave në përgjithësi, është një standard. Me sa kuptuam nga gjithë biseda, është një standard që ne duhet ta vendosim. Do të marrim apo jo shembull nga Franca që e ka vendosur në mbrojtje kushtetuese të drejtën e grave për ta ndërprerë një shtatzani, le t'ja lëm kohës dhe politikave shëndetësore ta vendosin këtë. Nëse do të më pyesnit mua si grua se a është apo jo e rëndësishme, është e rëndësishme dhe me të drejtën e plotë që një grua ka për trupin e saj për të vendosur. Faleminderit që na keni ndjekur, mos harroni të na bëni subscribe në kanalin në YouTube Shnet-me Eridën, në Instagram, në TikTok dhe të gjitha rrjetet sociale ku ju keni akses. Faleminderit që na ndoqët dhe paçi shëndet.